Chapter 34. Minerva Writes Poems. Minerva is only a little bit older than me, but already she has 2 kids and a husband who left. Her mother raised her kids alone, and it looks like her daughters will go that way too. Minerva cries because her luck is unlucky. Every night and every day, and prays. But when the kids are asleep after she's fed them their pancake dinner, she writes poems on little pieces of paper that she folds over and over and holds in her hands a long time, little pieces of paper that smell like a dime. She lets me read her poems. I let her read mine. She's always sad like a house on fire, always something wrong. She has many troubles, but the big one is her husband who left and keeps leaving. One day she is through and lets him know enough is enough. Out the door he goes, clothes, records, shoes, out the window and the door locked. But that night he comes back and sends a big rock through the window. Then he is sorry and she opens the door again. Same story. Next week she comes over black and blue and asks what she can do. Minerva, I don't know which way she'll go. There's nothing I can do. Chapter 35. Bums in the Attic. I want a house on a hill like the ones with the gardens where Papa works. We go on Sundays, Papa's day off. I used to go. I don't anymore. I don't like to go out with... You don't like to go out with us, Papa says. Getting too old? Getting too stuck up, says Nini. I don't tell them I'm ashamed. All of us staring out the window like the hungry. I'm tired of looking at what we can't have. When we win the lottery, Mama begins, and then I stop listening. People who live on hills sleep so close to the stars, they forget those of us who live too much on earth. They don't look down at all except to be content to live on hills. They have nothing to do with last week's garbage or fear of rats. Night comes. Nothing wakes them but the wind. One day, I'll own my own house, but I won't forget who I am and where I come from. Passing bums will ask, "Can I come in?" I'll offer them the attic, ask them to stay because I know how it is to be without a house. Some days after dinner, Guest and I will sit in front of the fire. Floorboards will squeak upstairs, the attic grumble. "Rats?" they'll ask. "Bums," I'll say, and I'll be happy. Chapter 36. Beautiful and Cruel. I am an ugly daughter. I am the one nobody comes for. Nini says she won't wait her whole life for a husband to come and get her, that Minerva's sister left her mother's house by having a baby, but she doesn't want to go that way either. She wants things all her own, to pick and choose. Nini has pretty eyes, and it's easy to talk that way if you're pretty. My mother says when I get older, my dusty hair will settle and my blouse will learn to stay clean. But I've decided not to grow up tame like the others who lay their necks on the threshold waiting for the ball and chain. In the movies, there's always one with red lips who is beautiful and cruel. She is the one who drives the men crazy and laughs them all away. Her power is her own. She'll not give it away. I have begun my own quiet war. Simple, sure. I am one who leaves the table like a man without putting back the chair or picking up the plate. Chapter 37. A Smart Cookie. I could have been somebody, you know, my mother says and sighs. She has lived in this city her whole life. She can speak 2 languages. She can sing an opera. She knows how to fix a TV, but she doesn't know which subway train to take to get downtown. I hold her hand very tight while we wait for the right train to arrive. She used to draw when she had time. Now she draws with a needle and thread, little knotted rosebuds, tulips made of silk thread. Someday she would like to go to the ballet. Someday she would like to see a play. She borrows opera records from the public library and sings with velvety lungs, powerful as morning glories. Today, while cooking oatmeal, She is Madam Butterfly until she sighs and points the wooden spoon at me. I could have been somebody, you know. Esperanza, you go to school, study hard. That Madam Butterfly was a fool. She stirs the oatmeal. Look at my comadres, she means Izura, whose husband left, and Yolanda, whose husband is dead. Got to take care all your own, she says, shaking her head. Then out of nowhere, shame is a bad thing, you know. It keeps you down. You want to know why I quit school? Because I didn't have nice clothes. No clothes, but I had brains. Yep, she says, disgusted, stirring again. I was a smart cookie then. Chapter 38. What Sally Said. He never hits me hard. She said her mama rubs lard on all the places where it hurts. Then at school, she'd say she fell. That's where all the blue places come from. That's why her skin is always scarred. But who believes her? A girl that big. A girl who comes in with her pretty face all beaten and black can't be falling off the stairs. He never hits me hard. But Sally doesn't tell about the time he hit her with his hand just like a dog, she said, like if I was an animal. He thinks I'm going to run away like his sisters who made the family ashamed just because I'm a daughter. And then she doesn't say. Sally was going to get permission to stay with us a little, and one Thursday she came, finally, with a sack full of clothes and a paper bag of sweet bread her mama sent. And would have stayed too, except when the dark came, her father, whose eyes were little from crying, knocked on the door and said, "Please come back. This is the last time." And she said, "Daddy," and went home. Then we didn't need to worry until one day Sally's father catches her talking to a boy, and the next day she doesn't come to school, and the next. Until the way Sally tells it, she just went crazy. He just forgot he was her father between the buckle and the belt. "You're not my daughter! You're not my daughter!" And then he broke into his hands.